My 2024 was a wild ride. It was filled with so many ups and downs, like dramatic ups and downs. On the one hand, I had an amazing introvert friendly wedding, and me and my husband got a dog. And then on the other hand, I made less this year. I struggled a lot emotionally. There was some personal stuff that happened. So, this video is all to kind of give you some personal and business updates, but also let you know what you can expect from me and this channel in 2025. I feel like this year has been just a step back. I think what I'm coming to learn as someone who always wants to be moving forward and progressing, and I want to see the line go up, it's hard for me to really wrap my mind around the fact that these dips or these setbacks are normal in life and entrepreneurship. And this year has really shown me just how uncomfortable that is for me and how not well emotionally I reacted to it. But now that all is said and done, and now that we're looking at a new year, I feel confident about is that all of these setbacks and trials are refinements, right? They are cutting away all of the things that cannot be there as I move forward. It is testing me and refining me and strengthening me for what is to come next. We can't progress in the journey unless we are strengthened to the point where we can handle the next thing coming toward us. So, through scripture and through working with my coach and a lot of prayer and just focusing on what I'm grateful for, I can come to you in this video despite everything and share with you what my setbacks were, how it's setting up 2025 for new, exciting, fresh stuff. So, I was inspired to create this video because a freelancer and entrepreneur that I really look up to, Latasha James, she created a video talking about how she made less this year and went through some personal setbacks. And it was so inspiring to me that somebody I look up to could be transparent and share that, not everything is perfect. And then it made me realize, well, I have the opportunity to also be transparent and share something that's going to give someone hope as well. So that's really my intention for this video, is not to complain or vent, but more just hopefully inspire you and get you excited for what is to come in 2025 as well. So I made less this year, and it was a variety of factors. So there's the big picture stuff, which is that this was an election year. I think launching my program 30 Days to Paid literally during the election was very ill-timed on my part. I started the pre-launch process the week I was getting married. It was just a lot of timing decisions on my end that, looking back, were not the smartest. But the reason I did it was because I always try to be somebody who just takes action instead of waiting for the perfect time. So I think in the future, I'll look back at kind of like the unsuccessful launch and say, that was maybe not the best time to launch, but I'm glad that you did it despite everything that was going on in your life and all of the factors that negatively influenced the outcome. Because that's the danger we fall into as self-employed individuals, freelancers, is that because we have control over our schedule, we can choose to keep putting things off because it's just not the right time. So I always try to err on the side of being an action taker. And sometimes that doesn't always pan out, right? So that happened. The fact that, I was wedding planning, I flew back from Florida to New Jersey multiple times, planning a wedding in New Jersey while living in Florida. We didn't know that we would be moving to Florida when we got engaged. So planning a wedding from far away and just dealing with all of the stress that came with wedding planning, even though I did an introvert friendly wedding that was a small amount of people, that was not even a quote unquote real wedding. We just did a brunch. I mean, it was so incredibly stressful, with all of the planning that went into that. And just me, as someone who eats my emotions regularly, trying to make sure I fit into this like really tight dress and breaking out in acne, even though I had just started investing in facials for this wedding. It was just so much. I had a lot of personal drama that went down with, my wedding party, of people backing out of my wedding. I lost friends during this wedding process, which is so ironic because I literally decided to do a non-traditional wedding just because I hate all of that stuff that goes along with weddings, like the pressure and the drama. So to anyone who's thinking about doing a wedding and you're not sure, just have the wedding you want, because even if you try to go small scale, you're still going to deal with a lot of BS. That's my advice for brides. But I put myself first a lot this year versus work. So I think that showed in my income. Like, I took up personal hobbies. I started painting. I was very picky with the clients I took because I didn't want to deal with a lot of stress this year. So I just think that everything that was going on personally mixed with what was going on economically, mixed with the fact that I also invested a lot in my business this year. year. Like I switched email service providers. I hired a one-to-one coach. I've never hired a one-to-one coach before, which is a really large investment per month. And I've only been able to do group coaching and courses up until that point, but I finally got to the point in my career where I needed that one-to-one attention where somebody could go through what I was doing with a fine-tooth comb and really point out what I could be doing better and giving me that perspective. So while my income went down, my expenses went up. This is probably one of the first years that I have not put money into savings and that I didn't max out my Roth IRA. These are not things that moved me closer to my financial goals or my career goals, but I just have to believe that next year is going to be a better year. I've felt really knocked down by this all, really having to just choose to fight through it. And I can't say that I 100% am confident that everything is going to be okay, but I almost just feel like I've gotten this far. Don't give up now. That's really what I'm telling myself. If this year just hasn't gone to plan and you are on the brink of giving up and you're like, is this even for me? Should I keep going? I don't know. These are the 4 questions that are keeping me going, even though sometimes I really feel like I'm failing. And it really helps me to push through. And it has helped me to not give up despite the discouragement. So number 1, what is your why? Don't click off, okay? This question really throws me off when people and coaches have asked me this, because I felt like it had to be like, well, I am going to shift the world and be Mother Teresa with my why. No, I'm going to share with you my why to help you understand that this doesn't have to be groundbreaking or meaningful to anyone else but you. My why is the flexibility, first and foremost, okay? Like full stop. I would rather make enough to pay my bills and have this schedule and this flexibility and this autonomy and this control over what I do on a day-to-day basis than more money, okay? So knowing that that is a deeply held value that is core to me is why I'm going to keep going, even though I'm not seeing the exact result I want right now. It's still worth it for me. So that why is honestly what keeps me going. Now, here's the next thing. And this is also a really tricky question that should not be taken at face value or kind of looked at from a surface level lens. It's, do you like what you do? So me understanding that I like what I do is huge. It's a huge privilege. As someone who has ADD, we have the ability to hyperfixate and go really deep into certain topics if we like it and if we are interested in it. And anything else feels like an absolute uphill battle, okay? Because I have ADD and because my mind works that way, I know what it's like to be in a job where I don't feel connected and engaged with what I'm doing, and it is miserable. I don't think everyone is like that. I think that is something with my mind, and maybe if you have ADD, you can relate, but you have to like and be interested in what you're doing, or else it feels like absolute torture. So is writing content and writing blog posts about software amazing and fun? No. I mean, I would rather not work. Okay, I'd rather go do Pilates, get my hair done, get my nails done, and be independently wealthy. But this is my reality. And if I'm going to be doing anything in this life, like I could be in a freaking coal mine right now. I could be doing a lot worse. So I like what I do. That's a huge privilege based on where I came from, being in a corporate environment that I didn't really love. So just that question, do I like what I do? That has kept me on track, because it's like, do I want to go back to doing something I don't want to do? No, it's worth it to keep going. Liking what you do doesn't mean that you are obsessed with what you do and you love what you do. It's just, is it draining your soul and killing your soul? And if the answer is no, you're pretty lucky. I think when people get asked this question of like, do you love what you do? And if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. It's like, we all have to make money and pay bills, unless you are the 1% of people who don't. This isn't too bad of a gig, okay? Yes, there's stress that comes with writing and meeting deadlines and servicing clients, but it's a pretty good gig in the overall scheme of life, right? So do you like what you do? Next is, can you replicate your success? So I want you to think about this, because this is the core tenet that I created 30 days to paid around, is that if you can land that first high paying client, you can replicate those results until you are making 5 times what you made from that one client, right? So let's say you get one client that pays you $1,000 per month. You can get 5 clients that pay you $1,000 a month. So you're making $5,000 per month from 5 clients. Something that I teach in my course that I've had to really apply to my own life and say, okay, can I keep this going and replicate this? And the reality is that even though my launches haven't gone, I didn't hit my launch goal. The reality is I have done it once, which means I can do it again. If you make one sale, you can make multiple. You just have to keep going. So I know that can be a little hard if you haven't done the thing yet, but even if right now you are a freelancer and you're not making what you want to be making, maybe you're working for like one client and they're not paying you well and you're not happy with it. Well, you got that one client to work with you. You're doing work for them. You went through that process. Maybe it's not the amount you ideally want, but you can do that for a higher paying client because you did it once. So holding on to that can really get you through and keep you going. And then finally, ask yourself this: if pursuing this goal was going to take me another 10 years, would I still want to do it? That has really put this into perspective for me, because a lot of my frustration right now in my business is that I am not where I want to be on my timeline, right? And that whole timeline thing and thinking I need to be somewhere further along than I am has been a constant theme of my life and has really led to a lot of disappointment. So to put things into perspective, it's like, you know what if this goal that you're wanting, this financial goal, this career goal, this business goal, if it was going to happen but it would take 10 years, would you still do it? And my answer is yes. I don't think it's going to take 10 years to reach my goals, but would I be content working at this pace, doing what I'm doing for another 10 years in hopes of the goal? Yes, I would, because of those reasons I mentioned before. The flexibility, liking what I'm doing, and the fact that I have made some progress and I've gotten, to a certain point where I know I can recreate those results. So let's talk about market trends, stuff that happened in 2024 that can kind of get us into the right mindset for 2025. So here are the top things that I saw this year in the freelancing space specifically. And obviously I'm coming from a copywriting and marketing perspective, but this can still be helpful even if you don't fall squarely into those categories. So number one is that freelancers have been flooding the market pretty much since 2020. And I think that is starting to level out and that people are starting to leave. So in 2020, there was this really big uptick in work from home or having a lot more freedom to start side hustles. And that just created a lot of competition. I think that the honeymoon phase is over, and the ones who are still standing are going to be the ones that, probably continue on and have longevity in their career. The rise of people like Andrew Tate created a huge flood, specifically in freelance copywriters, and the quality of people that entered this industry, I don't think it has helped us at all, because it attracted the get rich quick and how can I make money off of a client versus how do I become a great service provider and hone my skill set and deliver a valuable service and work my way up. I feel like there was a lot of spray and pray, annoying pitching with like a horrible template that I saw going around. And I just don't think that has had a very positive effect on people who want to hire copywriters. The AI hysteria is another thing. And I call it AI hysteria because a lot of it was fear and predictions about what would happen versus what actually happened. Yes, I think the AI, the people, the writers who really were general SEO writers who didn't have any specific expertise, I'm sure they lost opportunities. But for the writers like myself who have a specific niche, what AI does has not yet lived up to what a specialist and a quote unquote expert can deliver to a client. They just need a human, right? Even though I use AI, it's very clear to me that unless I have that background knowledge and that mix of experiences that only a human can have, the AI can only do so much. The initial flood of AI tools onto the market and any marketing teams that have been deploying AI and actually replacing writers with it are starting to see those diminishing returns and probably wanting to go and find a writer that can bring human expertise and get their marketing on the right track. I am in technology, and I feel like a lot of copywriters and content writers who make a really good living are in some type of technology adjacent field. And we have had massive layoffs in 2022 and 2023. Layoffs were happening like crazy. And just this year alone, there were 130,000 job cuts across 457 companies. How that affected freelancers and service providers in the marketing space is that there was demand, especially when workers get laid off. Freelancers can come in and kind of fill certain roles for less, for less of an investment than a full-time in-house person. But it also left a lot of us without commitments. And I saw that firsthand in my business, that getting people on retainer and getting those longer relationships was a bit harder just because apprehension to invest, and also just the turnover and working with a client one day and then, they go dark and they're shut out of their email. And then I'm in touch with another person, have to sell myself on them all over again. They have different goals. It's a different project now. So that was really messy. And hopefully that will stabilize in 2025. And as I've seen these changes in the market, it has led me to want to serve you guys in a different way, because it has led me to want to create something that is going to help you deal with some of the changes that we're seeing. My prediction for 2025 is that human connection is going to be everything. From 2020 to 2024, I think we are so fatigued with not only lies and hidden truths from our institutions like the media and our government, but being sold a false bill of goods by celebrities, influencers, people people who can't back up the things that they are saying. The trend that I see in 2025 is that people are going to want to do business with people that have similar values and that are open about their values and who they are so that that trust can be gained. I think that so many people have had to silence themselves in fear of cancel culture. And I think the people who are actually willing to be outspoken and say what their real opinions are, I think that is going to create loyal clientele and followers that feel a deeper connection with you and make you not replaceable with other services or other service providers. And I think as service providers, what we need to be focusing on in 2025 is getting clear on not only our unique selling proposition and our differentiators, which has always been my strategy in 30 Days to Paid, is teaching freelancers how to get clear on their offer, present that offer, sell that offer. But now we need to also show the different dimensions of ourselves and talk about our experiences, what we've learned, how we've worked with clients, share some personal stuff that helps people understand that we're a human being and that we can be trusted. Up until now, for the past 4 years, I have been teaching how to cold pitch and land those clients, and it is still the quickest, fastest way to do it. But beyond that, if you want to continue to fill your pipeline with leads, if you want to continue to progress in your freelance career by letting go of lower paying clients and replacing them with clients who are higher quality, willing to pay your rates, see your value, are in better alignment with you, the key to that is building up your brand and doubling down on marketing. My email list currently, I'm going to read off these numbers to you, around 7,900 for my email list, over 18,000 YouTube subscribers. I have over 7,000 followers on Instagram. I have over 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. So total 41,239 followers of this brand that I started in 2020. So what I have done is put together, and this is actually based on a training that I did in the Paid Writers community for my current students in my community, and I'm letting you guys in on this, is that I've created the personal brand playbook, which is basically content frameworks, copywriting frameworks that will allow you to start marketing your service-based business in a way that actually stands out and resonates with clients. And the inspiration behind this was that I had built my entire freelance business on cold pitching, and I got a lot of inbound inquiries from LinkedIn and being optimized on there. But I just decided, because I had taught a lesson on posting and marketing on LinkedIn in my community, I'm going to try the strategies that I'm teaching you here. Why not? Like, if I'm going to be teaching other freelancers how to post on LinkedIn, I might as well do it. And after 4 weeks of just posting consistently, I had one post that popped off. It got 192,000 impressions, which was like 40 times the amount of views that the other posts got. And I started getting inbound leads, not necessarily from that viral post, but from the fact that I was consistently posting. So what I wanted to do was break down how I'm going about this, how I am marketing my freelance business, my freelance writing business, and attracting inbound leads on LinkedIn, and share with you how you can start doing that too. And the best part is that I'm using AI to do it, and I'm kind of giving AI certain prompts and helping me to kind of flesh out my stories and my experiences, but it's still original because it's my unique experience. It's me, crafting the narrative. Yes, I'm using AI to bring some storytelling arc in there, which is really great because if you're not a writer, you can have AI help you with your own storytelling, but they're 100% original experiences and posts that I'm creating that are unique to my specific life situation and experiences and expertise. And I believe that this is the future of how creators are going to pull their stories and their expertise and everything that they're experiencing. They're going to be using AI to tell compelling stories and relate to customers and clients in a way that surpasses all of this fake generic stuff we're seeing online, and really builds trust and also helps you to just live a more peaceful life because you're not constantly cold pitching and hustling for clients. You're starting conversations and you're gaining referrals, and you feel confident in your income each month. So not only am I going to be linking this personal brand playbook down below in the description, but there is a whole video training series that I am doing on this channel. The next video is going to be about how to build a personal brand that attracts clients. And I want you to watch every video in that playlist and kind of come on board and embark on this journey of truly marketing your service-based business in a way that feels authentic, that doesn't have you overthinking your posts, and has you really connecting with like-minded people and finding your community and making a good living, providing the services that you're providing. And I just hope it helps. I hope this 2024 wrap up 2025 preview has been inspiring to you. If it has impacted you, please let me know, comment, because that engagement is a free way to keep me going and keep me creating, and just helps me to not lose touch with you. That is what this is about, is connecting with you. And I notice that when I don't feel that I'm connected with the people I'm talking to is when the discouragement really starts to set in. So your comments and your emails mean more to me than you know. And Happy New Year.